Instant cameras are super popular right now, so we're reviewing every instant camera.
We bought every one of these. Nothing here is sponsored. We just want to help you find the right camera.
And we took a bunch of pictures, tested them, and found which ones we thought would be right for you, including one that we think is probably not right for anybody.
Well, let's start with Polaroid.
So we took some pictures with the Polaroid, and there's a few things. First of all, when you take the picture, you can't expose it to light like the other ones because it needs to process, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the film to fully process. And then the results we got from the pictures were just not as good as the other film. Fuji definitely has the superior film, so let's talk about which cameras you can get that good film with.
They have 3 different sizes of film. So start by picking the size and aspect ratio that you want. This is the Instax Mini. It's vertical. It kind of looks like a small Polaroid. But even more like a Polaroid is the Instax Square here in the middle. And then we have Instax Wide. And well, it looks a little weird if you shoot it vertically like we did for this sample because the fat edge is here. So you would only want to use this for horizontal pictures.
Let's start with the Instax Mini. If you like this little film, there's good news because the cameras are also smaller, which is something that interests me. So this is the first one. It does not come with this little case, but I think this is kind of nice for carrying. And you can see it's not too big. It's kind of cute and it's simple to use. It's just a point and shoot.
I think this looks incredibly goofy.
No, it's not made for you.
No, it's not my aesthetic.
It's cute.
But I can get a standard black one, the Instax 40 for $20 more. However, they are identical mechanical cameras. You just pay an extra $20 to not have to carry around a goofy looking camera. One step up from that is this, the Instax Mini 99. And it looks a little bit more professional, but it also brings a lot of professional and creative features to it. You can turn the flash on and off, which is important because the flash completely changes the look of the picture. It has an exposure compensation dial here that lets you switch between lighter and darker. Of course, it's kind of hard to use because to know which way to adjust it, you'd have to first take a picture and say, oh, that's overexposed. But at least you have the option to go back and reshoot. It also has some creative color controls here. FG is faded green, WT is warm tone, LB is light blue, SM is soft magenta, SP is sepia, LL is light leak.
I would pay more money to get that upgrade. That's fun.
Like a lot of these cameras, you focus manually. You turn it on by twisting the ring and the lens extends, and then you need to pick the range that you're shooting. I will say out of all of these cameras, this is the one I used the most because I didn't feel like it looked goofy around my neck and it was small and light. If you're looking for a little more creativity, Lomo makes an Instax Mini camera, the Automat. And the aesthetic here makes me think of like 80s Soviet. It provides all the creative controls that you might want, including exposure compensation, turning on and off the flash, and Lomo includes a bunch of extra lenses and accessories, including a lens cap that you can use to trigger the shutter if you're taking a selfie, so you don't have to use a timer. There are some weirdness with the Lomo cameras, like it does not include any kind of camera strap, so you'll have to buy that. Also, be sure to buy separate CR2 batteries and a battery for the remote control because they do not include those things.
Next, if you want to step up in your film size and you want to change the format to the square, which was actually my favorite, then you can go to the Fujifilm Instax Square 1. This is $140. It's fully automatic, so you can't control the flash. There's not any of the fancy dials or settings or filters or anything like that. So it's simple and you get a larger format.
I think for candid photography, fully automatic is completely fine. But if you do want some more creative control and you want this Polaroid aesthetic with the square, this is the weirdest camera we've ever reviewed. This is the Lomo'Instant Square. And watch this, it pops out and there's a bellows and then there's a lens at the end and you focus it just estimating a range based on this. This is a little more telephoto than the other cameras. These are all 35mm full frame equivalent, which is a little bit tighter than your main lens on your smartphone. But this one's 45mm, which is more what they call normal. And that means you get a little closer to your subjects. That means there's a little bit more background blur. And I liked that. I liked the little bit more telephoto look. This is the one I would pick. I also think I like mechanical things. I like the way it unfolds.
You keep calling that one goofy, but this one...
Yes, I think this is goofy, and I don't know, I like that. And I think this wild aesthetic can help bring out an interesting reaction for the people that you're photographing. Like the other Lomo cameras, it doesn't include a strap or batteries, but you do get full control over the flash and the exposure compensation. You have a timer and a remote control built in.
You know, you bring up a good point. We got a lot of interesting candid photos because nobody takes these cameras seriously. So people kind of make a goofy face or be more candid, and you end up with interesting photos. Whereas if I take out a big professional camera, people kind of freeze up. It feels serious. Okay, next let's talk about these bigger cameras, and these produce the Instax wide film. And you can see it's quite a bit bigger than the smallest option that you have. And you can see that the camera is also quite a bit bigger.
The Instax wide cameras are goofy big. Like, you feel silly carrying them around.
I carried it on my wrist, and when I first picked it up, I thought it was ridiculously big, but it's actually it's light. It's very light. So if you got a neck strap, you probably wouldn't notice. This is also fully automatic. The only feature it has really is a timer.
The biggest camera here is the Lomo'Instant Wide. I think it's the biggest camera I've ever used. The lens cap here has a remote control built in if you install a battery, and Lomo gives you control over the flash and exposure compensation, so you have all the manual and creative controls that you want. It also includes a bunch of accessory lenses, things like wide angle, multiple exposures, bulb exposures. All those lenses, they don't give you any place to store them though. So I feel like most people, okay, well me, are just going to lose all those accessories promptly.
If I had to choose, I would either choose this Fuji Mini 99 because I like that you have some control over the flash and the settings, and the film is also good. Or my favorite aspect ratio was the little square one. I think I'd go with the Fuji again. Which one would you get for a teenager or a kid in your life?
I think I'd get the Instax Mini Fuji cameras. They're fully automatic in case they don't want to learn a new hobby. You can get this or spend the extra 20 bucks to get the black version.
Which one would you get for the camera nerd in your life?
Oh, I think they would probably like the Instax wide Lomo camera here because of all the flexibility, all the control over it, unlimited creative abilities.
If you have suggestions for other videos you'd like to see similar to this, then let us know in the comments down below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you, and see you next time.
Bye.